who she finally realized she was, and what she finally realized she could do. She knew so much in that moment, it was impossible, but it had happened anyway. So she knew who he was, the beautiful man with the amethyst eyes and the raven-black hair who stood tall and imposing at the base of the stairs. She knew what he was, dressed in his perfectly tailored suit, his hands in his pockets, his gaze piercing, wrapped in darkness. He was wickedness incarnate. He was all of the magic and release and wonder and otherness that she had craved her entire fucking life, but that had always been just out of reach, leaving her lurching and yearning in this terrible reality she so desperately desired to escape. He was her dream lover, her mystery mate, the face and body she placed into every lead character of every romance novel she had ever read in her attempt to leave this world. And there he was, now, when she wanted him least of all. There he was, staring up at her, when it was too damn late, when all he could possibly do any longer was interrupt her, try to stop her, and keep her from getting the revenge she was due. "Why shouldn't I?" she asked. "What is there to save, and why the hell would you care, Unholy King?" The man's chin raised, and his beautiful, piercing gaze narrowed thoughtfully. She knew then, as she knew everything else, that he was realizing what he was up against. She knew he was feeling her wrath, and he was unsure whether he was going to win this battle, or even leave this doorstep alive. "Because you care, Minerva, more than anyone else on the planet. You don't want to hurt anyone." He opened his hands beseechingly, and Minerva's gaze moved to his shiny black shoes, because she just knew he was going to try to take a step toward her. If he did, she was going to lay into him like a nightmare. "You hate the violence that dominates this world," he continued. "The last thing you want to do is add to it." He spoke to her in the calmest, gentlest of tones, like a frightened man to a ticking time bomb. He placed his hands on the metal railing of the back steps, and Minerva smiled. It was a detached gesture, one she barely felt, and one that seemed slightly alien to her. "You're right, and you're wrong," she told him calmly. "I do care. I always have." She shook her head. "Far too much." She paused for effect. "And so I want to hurt everyone." She hissed the word through a grin. "Starting with you." She was aware that the ring on his finger protected him from the iron in this world. Every Fae knew that, therefore now she did too. It was part of the incredible, impossible knowledge that had come slamming into her the moment she'd grown aware of who and what she was. The moment the pain inside of her had become unbalanced and too great compared to the pain outside of her. The ring gave him strength. So that was what she went for first. She looked at his hand, and her gaze narrowed. "I wish your ring didn't protect you anymore." The beautiful man's unworldly eyes widened almost imperceptibly. He hadn't been expecting that. He hadn't expected her to know quite as much as she did, especially about him, but she was proving him wrong. The man's hands on the railing began to smoke. His brow furrowed, and he looked down. His movements were slow, as if he were literally stunned by what he was experiencing. No doubt he was. And then, quite suddenly, he was yanking his hands away. At the same time, he began speaking arcane words in a voice that seemed as alien to this world as was the smile on Minerva's face. He was casting a spell at her. Minerva's already galactic anger spiked even more. She exploded into the world around her like so much soda spray in shards of glass. The bottle had at last been shattered. Everything was free now, and for once, for one blessed, well-deserved moment, she truly didn't care.